I'm Eli Cohen. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SalesHood. Let's talk about First Call Qualification. We want to help you work on deals that have a higher propensity to close. That means we want to help you stop chasing deals that'll never close. We want to help you make a lot of money by being disciplined and rigorous about your first call qualification. That means you need to ask questions. It means you need to drive urgency with some storytelling. It means you need to get to next steps. And it means you need to do this in a collaborative fashion with your prospective buyers, because we want to get to a place where you mutually decide whether you should move forward or not. So here's the outline. It's proven. I use it personally. The best of the best also apply the same principles to their first calls. And this is how they do rigorous qualification. So let's start. First, it's really important to outline the purpose of the call. Great way to start first call qualifications with a prospective buyer. The purpose of the call is to get an understanding of your problems and to see if there's a fit for our two companies to work together. Clear statement of purpose and get everyone on the call to agree and just confirm that we're aligned on the purpose. Then we want to do introductions. Let's go around the call and have each person share, their role and what they hope to accomplish. Let everyone have a voice. Make sure you don't leave anyone out. Really important. And now we've spent the first few minutes with the introductions and the purpose and getting to know each other a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of rapport building. And then we should get into asking some questions. We want to ask questions about their current situation. I like questions like, tell me about your business. What problem are you trying to solve? Why did you reach out to our company? Why are we on this call? Who's most interested in your company to solve this problem and why? How do you quantify the problem that you're trying to solve? Right? Already there's 5 or 6 open-ended layering questions that will start giving you a good sense of the problem that the company is trying to solve. The person that you're speaking with did reach out to you for a reason, and they're on the call for a reason. Your job is to just be curious and to ask questions and to just understand, mostly because you want to start figuring out, are they the type of company that we should be working with? Can we solve their problems? Have we solved their problems before? And that's why I love going from the questions phase of the call, moving directly into storytelling. Don't pitch, avoid pitching. Tell a story, right? You've done some research on the company ahead of time, so you have a sense of, the size of the company that they are, the location, the industry, and probably have a sense of some use cases of what they're trying to solve. So have a couple stories ready to go, and then relate the story that you're going to tell, your customer reference story, relate it to the problems that they've identified. So you said that you wanted to solve these problems. Well, let me tell you a company just like you, similar to you, that was trying to solve a similar problem. Here's how they solved it, and here are some of the benefits and the outcomes that they experienced, right? That's a very compelling way to start having a bidirectional dialogue around whether there is a fit for the two companies to work together. And if you can tell the story in 2 to 3 minutes, boom, you're a rock star. You'll be in a position to get your prospective buyer to start giving you feedback. Well, what'd you think of the story? What would happen to your business if you realize the same benefits of this company? Right? That's how I'm using the story to continue to ask a couple questions, qualifying questions. Really, really critical. And where am I going next? Then, maybe I'll do a little demonstration. Right? It's okay. Depends on the company, depends on what you're selling. And it's optional, right? You'll have a good sense on the call whether it makes sense or not, right? So just to recap, to kind of level set where we are on the call, right? This is a 20 to 30 minute total call time. The first few minutes, what are we doing? We're focusing on the purpose of the call, the intros. We're spending probably 10 minutes on questions and open-ended layering questions. We've gone into storytelling mode for 2 to 3 minutes with a couple more questions. And then maybe we've done a demo, right? What we're doing is we're moving through the questions, we're moving through the stories, we're moving through some overview of a solution. We're doing it in a conversational tone so we can ultimately make a decision with the prospective buyer whether it makes sense to go or no go, whether it makes sense for us to continue working together. And we got to get to next steps, right? Next steps are going to vary. Maybe the next step should be, well, we've heard what you've said, and you want to kind of recap everything that they told you and you want to say, here's some suggested next steps. Maybe we should do a detailed deep dive workshop together. Or maybe what we should do is we should do a guided trial, or maybe we should build a custom demonstration for you. Or hey, maybe it makes sense to have a broader conversation with the executive team. Or on some calls, hey, maybe it makes sense to, we'll send you an order form, you're good to go, we can solve your problem. I know that's a stretch, but you get the idea. Right? Have a conversation with your prospective buyer about the next steps. You can be suggestive. You can provide some recommendations because you've done this before. You've got a sense of the problem that they want to solve, and you have a good idea of how to solve it because you've done it before. And you can also ask your buyer, so what are your proposed next steps? Right? So that's the outline of the first call qualification. I love it. It's a great way in a very collaborative fashion to build trust, credibility, and to drive a decision whether it makes sense to move to the next phase of collaborating. That's the purpose of the first call. Now, every call is different. You're going to use the different pieces that I've shared with you in a variety of different ways. There's an art here. You'll know when it's time to stop asking questions, and you'll get better at it. You'll know if the story you've told resonates. Hey, maybe you got to tell another one. So use your skills. Be curious, ask questions, focus in on next steps, and you will execute amazing first call qualifications.